The man without fear, the devil of Hell's Kitchen, has entered the secret sanctuary. I wasn't going to buy him, I swear, but I couldn't help myself. I have a long history with Daredevil. The first issue I bought off the spinner rack, and yes, I do mean spinner rack, dudes, I'm old, was number 132. I missed the first appearance of Bullseye by one issue, 1 month. So I came into the second part of a two-part story. I think it's a two-part story, maybe three, I think two. And was like, who the heck is this guy Daredevil and who the heck is this guy Bullseye? But I was instantly intrigued and hooked. And over the years, I enjoyed the Miller issues tremendously. It was fun to see Miller, who started off in issue 158 as the artist. Never seen him before. And then just 10 or 11 issues in, with number 168, he not only takes over as writer, but he introduces Elektra. So that was, for me, kind of a magical time in comics. It was the beginning of comics growing up with me. I think that my generation is the first generation where that happened. Generally, comic collectors outgrew comics probably in their early teens. But for me, you know, you had John Byrne on X-Men. You had Miller doing Daredevil. I mean, there was a lot going on that kept or held the interest of someone in their mid-teens, late teens, high school years, all that stuff. So, but Daredevil was a big part of that. I remember that two-page spread in Daredevil 181 after Elektra's had that battle with Bullseye and he's stabbed her fatally and she's crawling to Matt. And it's a two-page spread with not a word balloon, not any narration. There's not a box or a balloon on that whole two-page spread. It's merely images of the two of them. And it's one of the only times in comics that's really kind of tugged at my heart, you know, was that last scene with the two of them. So yeah, long history with Daredevil. When this first was revealed, I wasn't gonna buy him. I think that I was trying to create reasons not to buy him, and there were little things like on the prototype, his teeth didn't look good. It looked like he had gingivitis or something. It didn't look like how Matt Murdock, an attorney, would present himself with this really nasty looking mouth. I even messaged Daniel Bell on Facebook about it and said, "What's up with that?" And he said something about not being sure why they painted it that way. So that was one reason. Another reason was because, you know, I saw this in San Diego displayed next to Elektra, and Elektra, she's about 4 inches taller. She's like 25.5 inches, I think. He's about 21 inches because he's in this crouched pose. And I thought, gosh, I wish they were kind of on the same level. I wish that he wasn't crouched down the way he is. So that was another reason. And then, you know, we had this thing with the black areas of the costume that really bothered a lot of people. That didn't bother me as much, to be honest. I don't mind a costume being updated. I think a superhero would be constantly updating his costume, so that doesn't bother me that much. But then last Friday, people started getting their shipping notices and posting it on Statue Forum and Sideshow Freaks. Oh my God, he's shipping. And I hit the button. I didn't mean to hit the button, but I hit the button. And so it arrived today, and I'm surprisingly happy with it. This is kind of a refrain for me, I think, where I keep on saying I'm surprised at how happy I am with Sideshow pieces. I try to have a critical eye, and I've had problems with some Sideshow pieces lately as far as breakages. My Superman base had a piece broken off, and Sideshow replaced that. Some of you saw my glowing Wonder Woman review, and 50 of you said, "Hey, she's got googly eyes," which I didn't even notice. So now I'm waiting to hear back from Sideshow about getting a replacement portrait for Wonder Woman. I don't think there's anything wrong with Daredevil, but I know you eagle eyes. If you see anything, you'll let me know. But I think this one's a keeper just as it is. But you're tired of hearing me talk. Let's look at some close-ups. The first thing that occurred to me when I assembled Daredevil is that you're going to want to have him displayed either up high or at eye level. Down below is just not going to work, not at all. He's really looking down. You know, of course, he's on top of this building, maybe an old church perhaps, or I'm not sure what kind of building it's supposed to be. But anyway, his head is definitely angled down. So if you have him on a bottom shelf, you're going to see that, which you really don't want. You want him either high up, where you can really see his face, or at least eye level. That works pretty well too. But that does limit your display options a little bit. Let's start with the base, which I think they did a really good job on. It's not a space hugger, but it has a lot of cool details. I love the wood framed window that is partly broken off, and you get that broken glass. Just looks really good. And then the details on the stonework, the piece broken off on the corner there. I appreciate that level of detail. I think it looks great. As for the color, there was some concern when the out of box video came out that he looked a lot more red, kind of a brighter red, than in the photos that have been posted on Sideshow's site. And I'm not sure how he's coming through on the video, but instantly when I opened the box, I thought, wow, that's a great color of red. It's not super bright at all. It has a lot of kind of dark shading to it, which I think works really well. And one thing I want to point out that I think Sideshow is doing very well in the last year is musculature. And I first noticed that with Wolverine. Really, really nice. And then recently with Superman. Just excellent detail on the musculature. Really impressive. And I think Daredevil is the same way. Really sharp. As for the dark areas on the costume, I'm a little bit colorblind, so take this with a grain of salt. The patches on his inner thighs here, they don't look black to me. It's almost like a mixture of black and red, or black over red. I'm not sure how to describe it. The holster over here looks to me very much black. The knee pads, black. Red boots. But I think it works. To me, it doesn't detract. For some of you, it does. You know, a lot of people have commented about it on the boards and on Facebook. And I understand, it's an aesthetic thing. It's a subjective thing. You either like it or you don't. It either bothers you or it doesn't. There's another great example of the musculature. Look at the back. That just looks fantastic. That's how a self-trained superhero should look. I think that's really impressive. I am looking forward to getting Elektra now. She could be here as early as April or as late as June, assuming there's no delays, but that's the window, April to June. There's some discussion about her too. That's another statue either you really like or you don't. Some people don't like the bangs. everyone has their different idea of what Elektra should be, what she should look like. But I think she's beautiful. I'm looking forward to that piece a lot. We've got a couple of options. Here, you can remove this altogether, and there are just some caps included in the box that you can put here if you don't want to deal with this. But I like this configuration here. If you look at the pictures on Sideshow's site, they give you 4 options for how you can display this, but I like it like this. I think it looks really sharp. So this is the exclusive portrait. This is the one I had a problem with the teeth. And it's funny because, in person, the teeth are so tiny. I'm not having the same problem eyeballing it as I did with the pictures on Sideshow's site. It looks just fine. All right, let me switch out to the regular portrait. All right, here's the regular portrait. He looks a lot more calm here. And I'm a little bit torn because I think this is the way Daredevil has mostly been represented in the comics. He's very insular in that he's very focused on his other senses. So I don't really see him as a hero that scowls like he's doing in the other portrait. He's just very inward, thoughtful, concentrating all the time with those heightened senses. But on the flip side, that other kind of angry portrait, I think it looks really cool. And so I might end up displaying that more often, even though I don't think it suits the character as much, just because I think it looks really awesome. I'll give you another spin here. I'm also looking forward to displaying the new Punisher premium format with Daredevil and Elektra, and I'm considering adding to the mix the XM Moon Knight. I think that would look pretty sharp, and like the Daredevil, he needs to be on a high shelf or at least at eye level. They're both creatures of the night. It's a slightly different style between XM and Sideshow, but one of the good things about that XM Moon Knight is that the base isn't huge. So in fact, it's about the same size as the Sideshow piece. So a lot of XM bases are enormous, and that makes it difficult to pair them with a Sideshow piece. So that's the review of the statue that I wasn't going to buy but got sucked in. And I'm pretty darn happy that I was. It's a really nice addition to the collection. And like I said, I can't wait to pair it with those other pieces. It's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm going to be back next month because I got sucked into another piece. Today, the Thor Breaker of Brimstone, I believe, which was initially scheduled for a May to July release, got moved up to February. So that was the piece that I was thinking about. I loved the piece in San Diego. I looked at it every day, all 5 days of the show. But it's more expensive than the usual Sideshow PF. So I was just giving it more time to think about it. But man, now that they could be shipping anytime, February's tomorrow. I mean, it could be anytime, in the next 4 weeks. I hit the button again. So Thor's going to be coming, and that'll probably be the only release that I'll be reviewing in February, unless Tweeterhead releases something. I've got numerous pieces on PO with them, but I'm not sure if they have a February release or not. And of course, February is Chinese New Year, so a lot of things kind of grind to a halt for the whole month. But if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. I'd appreciate it. If you're interested in comics, statues, I have a website, www.detective27.com, where I sell some of each. So take a look at that if you're interested. Also, if you're into comics, I just started a new series of videos where I'm spotlighting pieces from my collection, either Golden Age, Silver Age, Bronze Age, Copper Age. I've done 2 videos so far, which you can see below. One of them on Detective Comics number 359, the first appearance of Batgirl, and one on Superman number 16, which I recently acquired from Comic Link. So if you like comics, take a look at those. I'm going to try to do those maybe 4 or 5 days a week. So the next one of those will probably be Monday because I'm going out of town for the weekend. So anyway, hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on the boards. I'll see you on Facebook. I'll see you at a convention near you. Have a great night. Take care. See you later.